Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I want to present to you my next build, or hopefully next build, because as I said in the last video, with the Righteous Fire Flame Wall Chieftain, we cleared the entire content, or Atlas more or less. We have 164, 164. We're now Awakener level 8. Now it's about to finish the last invitations and then do the Maven encounters, as well as finally grinding up the Atlas, making a bunch of currency, and get some very fancy builds going. And the first fancy build that I want to try out is Penance brand. And the last brand build, I have no idea when it was. I think it was like 3 or 4 leagues ago. Was Stormbrand. I have never tried any other brand build besides Stormbrand. Armageddon brand was not possible with my old PC because of the frame drops and whatnot. The other brands like Arcanist brand did never really bother me at all. Then the next one was Winterweave. This is something I was interested in, but every time I looked on YouTube for a video like Winterweave T16 map or something like that, I always said like, yo, if I play an Essence Drain character, that's going to be a lot faster than Winter Tide brand, something like that. So I never really bothered with it, and I personally never really played a cold dot build. I'm just always sticking to my chaos dot builds. But this time around, I thought like maybe Penance brand makes the cut over here, right? Because I talked to a couple of people and they always said, dude, if you enjoy Stormbrand, you definitely gonna enjoy Penance brand, and that's the reason why I'm actually picking Penance brand. So I leveled this character up yesterday. We're currently level 83, so I leveled it up just by normal questing and stuff and whatnot. Was kind of terrible, to be honest, to level with that one. You have like a Penance brand, Swift brand, Physical to Lightning, and Inspiration support at the moment as a falling, because I plan to use that one in my helmet. But it wasn't the best thing to level with, to be honest. So I think any other, maybe even Stone brand for leveling is better than Penance brand, just for that cause, right? So what is the skill? How does it look like? So brand skills got reworked. I don't really feel any kind of big changes at all. But Penance brand, the way it works is basically you attach this one to an enemy, and it's how you say, it has a frequent like an activity frequency, and every time it takes, it basically generates energy. And when it's a maximum energy, which is 20 stacks, it will explode, dealing a massive amount of damage as well as doing AoE damage. So how does this look like? Actually, it looks kind of terrible if you ask me. Let me just quickly reset this one, because this is actually the build enabler. I think, is it that one? Yeah. So, how does it look like? You basically just get your brands to a target, then it will beam up, and once it's like fully energy, it will explode. So, the problem with that, it's kind of ridiculous, because Penance brand doesn't deal damage while it's actually loading up. The only damage that you see here might be my, like anything else, probably. That I have, like, so I have some on-hit damage, but actually, no, I don't have. As you see, it's just loading up, exploding. So the problem is, this is not really a fast playstyle, because what is it doing? Like, it takes like forever to load up, and I'm actually having 2 void batteries. That's why I'm like running kind of through that. But as you see, it's kind of weird, right? So there's actually 3 ways to proc this explosion. In one way, you have the 20 stacks and it explodes itself. The second way, the duration of the brand is over, so it will just explode afterwards, no matter the stacks. Or the third way would be the monster dies. Another way, and this is the build enabling keystone here, which is the Holy Conquest, which means brands attached to a new enemy each time they activate, no more, once every 0.3. That means if I have now this keystone, my brand will actually like after 0.3 seconds will detach and instantly trigger the explosion. Unless there is only one target available, because then there is no target where the brand can actually jump to, right? And that's why it actually just sticks on the target until it has like either max stacks or gets out of duration. And this is actually the playstyle that's actually not cool, right? So after 0.3 seconds, it will detach, jump to a new enemy, and leave the explosion behind. And that makes the build then playable, I would say, because in the other hand, like if you have like a 2-second brand and you just have to wait until it actually explodes, it's kind of shitty, right? Another thing that I want to talk about is now we have to, like, what is the maximum DPS? So as I said, this is the current state. I'm not perfect at this build, right? This is the first time I'm playing Penance brand, but just to write down how this works, like you have a certain duration of the brand, so let's call it the brand duration, and you have a frequency. The frequency is basically how often per second does this thing actually do something, right? And as I just said, once you reach the 20 stacks, it will explode basically, right? Or the duration is over. So that means at the moment with my current gear, which is Tabula, which is like Loctonials, Gold Rim, pretty much leveling items, right? My current brand duration is, oh god, so much text, holy shit. Can attach for a total duration of 1.72 seconds. So, this is 1. Let me get this over here. 1.72 seconds attach time. Detach is when the brand is actually killing something and is then laying on the floor like here. Like these brands will probably last for about 7.06 seconds. This is now when it can jump to the next target. But the attachment range duration is 1.72 at the moment. So now the frequency. My current frequency is 0.12 seconds. That's the last line. You probably cannot even see that. If I see it over here, now you can read it. On the very bottom side, no, actually, now it's more on the top side. Activates every 0.5 seconds. This is just a gem. So if I mouse over my... Unless it works over here. I'm not sure. Ignite, chance to ignite, spell crit. I don't know. Just believe me when I say it. It tells me here on the tooltip activates every 0.12 seconds while attached. Okay? So, that means... If I have 0.12 activation frequency and I want to reach 20 stacks for the maximum damage, we multiply this by 20, it says about 2.4 seconds to have the most damage, right? The problem is at the moment, my brand duration is only 1.72 seconds. That basically means if I minus 1.72 seconds, I have like more than half a second worth, like we could divide that by 0.12. It's like 6 stacks? I'm not sure. So, it doesn't matter if it is the perfect math or not, or what I screwed up, but this just tells me that I will never, with my current brand duration, I can never get the 20 stacks, right? Because it will detach before, or at least, like, expire. And that means I'm currently running my maximum damage is like 16 stacks or 14 stacks or something like that. So the reason to fix that is to get enormous amounts of cast speed. The more cast speed we have, the more frequency we have. And we have to like either get the duration higher so it matches up with my frequency, or get more cast speed so the frequency is that low that within this duration I get up to my like 20 stacks, right? And this is currently the goal that I want to try on this build. I have no idea, I have never played something like that, but I just like the idea of having such in-depth calculations. And somebody on the stream actually linked me that one over here. He said he got this one from Crouching Tuna. I don't know if it's actually his file over here or whatever. It basically gives you like a cast time, a hit rate, a skill duration that you get from Path of Building, then your frequency rate, your energy stacks and whatever. And then it tells you if it's red, it means you need your stacks is too low. If it's orange, it means your stacks is too low, but you passed the bare minimum. If it's green, means your stacks are fine, right? So it really has some min-maxing in the detail to get the best amount of like duration versus the cast time, basically, or frequency rate. And then on top of that, you're gonna try to stack as many grand designs as possible, as many brand attachment range. Brand attachment range is pretty much how far can this brand jump to the next enemy. And I would say normally it's somewhere around like half a screen or something where it just like jumps over, right? And if you just get more and more of these things, I have like the grand design on like 4 of those, plus 3 times remarkable, which is basically brand skills have a 35% chance to create an additional brand, which means every time I use a brand, I'm actually casting 2 brands, right? So now it's about to get the maximum amount of attachment range, so this thing actually chains as far as possible. So I used it over here, and let's see how far it chained. Somewhere like more than a screen, I would say. And it's still the same brand over here, right? So it's actually quite interesting to get all of this together, and I'm really looking forward. How will this build play out? How is the single target on a skill like that? What budget options, or like how much do I have to invest to make this like Awakener 8 viable, more or less? How much like attachment range can I get so this thing actually chains for like 3 screens or some shit like that? I have no idea, but I'm very looking forward to this build because it is actually like Stormbrand, just for some reason feels a lot better. The clear is amazing, and it's going to be quite interesting to see how far we can get this one. I made a PUB, probably worth 10 mirrors. I would say like, hey, the good old mbX theory crafting where the character is level 100 and has like 6 times T1 perfect items equipped, but the damage is like quite interesting when you see like you have like 30 million damage per explosion. It kind of is ridiculous, and I want to see how far I can drag this build. But this is it. This is just like as a small video here to just show you guys what I'm going to play for the next couple of days, unless it is absolute dog shit, you know. So as I said, I wasn't really doing anything on this character, just leveling up, running a couple breach stones. I'm still having my leveling gear, and now I want to see how good is this build, but it looks very promising. The playstyle is fast. It's an assassin, so we are super speedy, and if you're wondering, dude, assassin is dead, no, it's not. It's still probably one of the best ascendancies. I would say top 3 ascendancies currently, even after the nerf, same as necromancer and other ascendancies that are just like godlike even after nerfs. But yeah, I would say let's start mapping, let's get some currency, let's get some gear. I can't wait for my exploded chest to see how ridiculous the clear speed gets, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully it works out the way I would like it to be at some point. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.